Hello, everyone. This is Peter Palmiotti. Welcome, welcome. So, let's see. That's good. I don't really need you. All right. So, let's see. All right. So, this is what I was working on the other day. And because I didn't get a chance to mess with my paragraphs, I'm going to have to work on that another time. But I just wanted to show you something different. This is a graphic novel I'm working on with Mr. Mark Torres as the writer creator. It's called The Chosen Few. This is from the first issue. I forget the pencil's name offhand, but I did a little work on this today. I was hanging out with a bunch of artists on Discord. But I'm going to work on this page. So this is something I started before. And this is page 11. This jumps ahead a bit because actually, what was the case? Yeah, there's a couple of pages that get lost. And so my artist, Rich, just, scanned the pencils, but didn't have the originals, so he sent me blue lines. And so I just skipped past those for the moment. Like I mentioned, I have some things inked on other pages. Not a lot, but this was one of them which I started. And actually, not. I don't know. That could be okay. We'll see if I decide differently. It's kind of a little chunky. I usually go a little finer. Let's see, and this is this is another character in the book. This sort of Asian bouncer at a club who is a informant for Retro. So I wanted to have it's comic book black belt, aka Russ. So I wanted to have his sort of, like people in his real life and people in his superhero persona, as all the classic great comics I grew up on sort of had. And and actually this character specifically, I guess, is more inspired by sort of what was going on with Master Kung Fu. Let's see. There's a character. This is during the, I believe, Doug Mensch, Paul Galassi era of the book. There was a James Dean type character. There was a James Bond type character, as his entourage. And actually, Master Kung Fu looked more like Bruce Lee. So I hope people like it. We shall see. So let's see what's been going on. Well, tonight I have interview conversation with Mark Torres on his show. It came from the radio. I think I told somebody that his show was called. It came out on Wednesday. That was his old show. Anyway, back in the day, 2006, I was a co-host on his radio show where we actually went to the radio station and out in Long Island, New York. For those that don't know Long Island, and we used to do that. I don't know, what was it, Wednesday or Thursday nights, something like that. Once a week. It was like an Asian station where you can buy time. That was a lot of fun. It took me because I don't drive, but New York you can get, all kinds of transportation. I mean, it took me like 2.5 hours to get out there. But he drove me back home, so it was much quicker. Them were the days. That was always a lot of fun. I was the comic news portion of the show, and it was a bunch of us. So I'm sure, I'm sure we'll touch on that, if only briefly, at least. I actually don't know what exactly he has in mind, but I was like, it's Mark, I'll do it. And, I'll get to the title of this episode in a minute. For those wondering why it's called what it's called. But just to give you a little insight to how it's going, I mentioned my sleep is all over the place. I feel like I've got nothing but outside obligations these sort of past 3 days. And I'm hoping tomorrow I can just focus on things I gotta do, want to accomplish. I've been trying to keep to daily habits. This being one of them. This is really the one I'm accomplishing the most at the moment. I have been doing a little workout in the morning, just sort of cardio stuff. Nothing special. I got no equipment at home. But I do go for walks as well. Just getting up there in my age, and putting on a little weight, and I was like, nope, not going to settle for that. I've been slim most of my life, so I want to get back to my fighting weight. I'm not a fighter, but you know what I mean. I'm just I went and categorized myself as a nerd, but I do fit that category, I guess. But I have never been a sports guy or a athletic guy per se. My favorite sport is bowling. and there's some exercise in that. But yeah, so I have these other obligations, and I've been, like I mentioned, I did a sort of a chat with a bunch of artists this morning. We're all working on our own projects and gabbing, catching up, and everybody has been affected by world events, global events, and yeah, it's like everybody sort of missed a step, work wise. But it's good to hear people are doing okay, and families and friends are safe, and there's only there's definitely people losing their minds now, but not everyone. So I was kind of thinking, it's like I definitely wanted to do a stream now, as opposed to, like, I got that thing at 7 o'clock, and I'm kind of feeling like after 7, well, however long we go, so after 8 o'clock tonight, so I don't want to I don't want to have any responsibilities. So I figured I'd do this now before that. Give me enough time to get some dinner in between. Get any other little things out of the way. I guess I'll find a minute to share this around. I want to try to share it to new places as well. It's like I've been sharing each stream as I do them, but I want to reach more people. My audience, it's like I may have, it's over 700 subscribers now, and there's new subscribers. So if if you catch this and you're a new subscriber, thank you so much. Definitely appreciate all the people who subscribe to my channel. I definitely appreciate those that watch my videos even more so. But yeah, I realize, like, I haven't been regular on my channel for a while, so it's just going to get everybody, take everybody a while to become aware of it and see that I'm posting regularly. That just comes with being a YouTuber. So I'll get better over time promoting it and getting the word out. And there goes my AC, which you should probably be okay. Oh, hey. Okay, so I got my chat. It's it's sort of behind me. I got my PC on a different table, so I'll just look over when I can. So as well as Ronnie is here. Hey, Ronnie. I appreciate yes. So Russ, aka Comic Book Black Belt, thanks for dropping by my stream. Much appreciated. Thought I'd pass on the support and come watch Peter do some masterful inking. Thank you. Appreciate it. And Ronnie says, great live stream, Russ. I got to catch up on people and what everybody's up to as soon as I find time. I've I've been keeping track of Jeff's streams. And Ronnie says, otherwise known as Crimson Owl Comics, your inks are looking great, Peter. Thank you, thank you. Definitely appreciate it. It's getting there. It's going to be a big issue, so you know, at this point, it'll be nice to get to the halfway point, but you know, I'm not sweating it. I just want to do good work. I'm fussy. I'm fussy like that. But yeah, you know, Jeff Lafferty is now doing daily streams. I think pretty much Gibran Redinger is his official side trick. And he's doing 100 days working on his comic Berserkernaut. I was on it the other day. I think episode 4. No, I mean episode 4. Day 4, if I'm not mistaken. That was a lot of fun. He's almost actually up to day 600. I think that will be in 2 days. It's crazy. I mean, I've been on YouTube on and off for a long time, and I know I have over 500 videos. I mean, I've kind of hid most of the videos on my channel because I just want to give real focus to what I'm doing now. You know, I may bring them back. I may just throw the links into my Patreon page. I don't know. But for the time being, I just want it to be, you know, like comic and art videos mostly. I have a few playlists visible. Basically, my successful run of the 100 days is on my channel. I have attempted it too many times. But life always seemed to get in the way. And, you know, actually, when I was on Jeff's channel, he was like, you should join the 100 days again. And I was like, I'm not committing to anything like that for at least 30 days. I've been sort of out of my daily practice of working for a while. So it's like, if I get 30 days on my belt, then I may be up for it. Because I don't want to fail again. You know, I'm making a commitment to getting retro done. It's like, you know, this is the main title of what I have coming up, and the flagship title. So I'm already, you know, when I'm taking a shower or taking a walk somewhere, it's like I'm already thinking of a bunch of ideas for the following, you know, upcoming issues. And it's like, man, I got so much I want to do. You know, I always imagined, you know, retro would be at least 75 issues, and it would be, you know, just lots of things going on. You know, I want to build my own sort of small superhero franchise kind of thing. Um, so I guess to get to the question, the title of this episode, eh, you know, what makes you so special? Um, I don't think I'm the greatest writer in the world, or, I will be taking over the art with issue 2 of this. Rich Future, the penciler of the first issue, is a full-time painter now. And he goes by Strategies and Blueprints on Instagram. So you could check out his work. But I think the charm of my stuff will be, well, one, that, I will have other artists on other books. So I think I'm doing something I haven't seen, which is an inker doing his own. Is that my AC is talking to me? Yeah, I haven't seen like an inker headlining any book series, so I'll have that going for me. You know, there's a bunch of people that know me by name, been following my career throughout the years. And when I did the Kickstarter for Retro, I guess. Well, currently I have I think it's like 85, if I'm right. There's a couple more people in addition to those that pledged on Kickstarter that wanted the book. So I did a couple off of the Kickstarter page. I know my audience is bigger than that, but it's hard to really get the word out. And really, I want to do a lot more. And I think I mentioned this on Jeff's show, but like I want to do a Kickstarter. I want to do an Indiegogo for Retro. Uh, Probably longer than I did the original Kickstarter, but I don't want to do it until after I get the book into the people's, into those that already pledged first, since they were the ones who pledged first. So yeah, I mean, I think story-wise, I think people will be entertained as far as comic book readers. I'll have a bunch of different characters and personalities and powers and things going on. I'll have a bunch of solo books, then eventually a team book. I'll have other stuff above and beyond that. There's a bunch of one shots I want to do. Stuff I already semi-created, just a matter of getting back to them. So I mean, barring that we get past this pandemic and current Black Lives Matter madness, life is sketchy for many. But I'm plugging away because this is what keeps me sane. in this scary, scary world. Mm. So what else? Oh, I had a thought and didn't actually say it before, but um, it's around 5 p.m. Where I am, regardless of if you're watching this live or watching this later. Um, and I was a little worried because it seems like the internet is less, um, the strength goes down a little because there seems to be more people online. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how like internet works per se, but I mean, my internet strength shouldn't go down because there's nobody else on my internet per se. Um, it just seems like it does get affected at certain times more than others. I remember it's I use Comcast, and I remember they said something like between, I don't know, whatever it was, one a.m. and 3 a.m. If they're doing any fixes or repairs or whatever, it all happens in those hours. But that's no good because I a lot of times I'm working around the clock. Um, but I mean, I do want to get to some normal hours again. It'd be nice to take evenings off, um, at least mentally. Yeah, I always seem to be up to something, but I just want to be more effective and less around the clock. So we'll see. So you might have noticed I haven't um, mentioned this character's name because I'm sort of like, you know I'm not even mentioning Retro's alter ego name at this point in time because I may decide to change it. um, you know, I always feel like once it's been printed, then it's written in stone. But until that point, I still have the obligation to change it up. So we'll see how I feel. Um, I honestly, actually, I don't even remember what I named this character. But more than likely, like Retro is Italian. Um, but his name, like I said, unless I change it, um, is Bobby Edwards. And I was thinking in regards to, immigrants who have come to America. He's never lived in Italy, but his heritage is Italian. Um, so his father, you know, grew up in Italy and then moved to the States. Um, and when he did, he changed his names. Like you hear stories of immigrants, like Jewish immigrants. I can't think of a good name at the moment. No, I'm thinking, um, okay, Berkowitz, maybe not the best name, but like somebody named Berkowitz, they dropped the wits or changed it up a little bit. So even though Edwards is not an Italian name, the Italian name was probably something completely different. They just wanted to sound neutral in the new world. Man, I tell you, like, it's been in the 80s around here, and as soon as your internet, as soon as your air conditioning is off for like even 5 minutes, it starts feeling warm again, and it's definitely been humid. It's like the last couple of days, it seems like I've been taking walks, not even during the heat of the day, like later. Um, and it's like the humidity is just so on top of you. You could almost feel it in your lungs. It's crazy. Hey, Dale, what have you missed? Uh, uh Everything? The whole video before? I'm just inking my comic retro and gabbing about different things. What exactly? I'm trying to keep close eye on the clock because I can't be here. Yeah, I'll go another 10 minutes. Um, I should probably be somewhere at 6 o'clock. Then I gotta be here back before 7. I gotta. I'm gonna be on somebody else's show, so I'm sort of juggling a lot of things. But I was just talking about my character's alter ego and his name. Pretty sure that's probably the only name set in stone-ish at the moment. And I apologize if your sort of ringside seat to me working isn't as perfect as it could be. Um, One day set up a camera above me to where people can see it better. But for right now, it's more like just, hopefully, well, I'm thinking like most of the people that watch me are artists and comic makers as well. So it's like you turn on my live stream and you just sort of work while I work and listen to me gab, I guess. That sort of thing. Thanks, Russ. Appreciate it. Have a good evening. Yeah, that's right. Russ said, gotta shoot. Catch the rest on the replay. Pages are looking great, Peter. Night all in the chat. Yeah, it's Ronnie. Says, night, Russ. Yeah, I was thinking next time I get some supplies, it's like I have enough to make do at the moment, but I really need to get a couple of brushes. And this is the number 3. It's your typical Winsor Newton number Series 7 number 3. I really got to get a brush. I'm not sure how high they go, but if this is a 3, then I'm thinking I should probably get like a 6. Because it always seems like it takes forever to fill in blacks. With even a number 3, it's like I know some people ink with a number 1 or even a 0, and it's like I'm traditionalist, and I know some people fill in blacks like this freaking. They have those giant markers now that I don't know. They seem to be like 6 inches thick, and that covers a lot of territory really quickly. But I love to. I find myself talking louder when the AC is on, but I don't think you hear it. Yeah, I don't like to even, I don't know, like ink backgrounds with markers or anything. Everything's got to be inked in with one tool or another. I mostly use brush, uh, quill, which is Hunt 102 quill, and everything else is repair graphs, which I have ink cartridges for. So nothing will ever be done by a marker if I have my way. Um, so yeah, to get back to my earlier topic and the title of this episode, what makes you so special is, it's to you, the creator, artist, what have you, of your own comic. It's to your advantage if you stand out in some way, and to know how you stand out and to promote it in such fashion. So yeah, I mean, like I mentioned earlier, it's like I don't think there's anchor, any anchors out there that are um, trying to do their own line of books, as well as, like I have other artists that will be doing other books besides retro, but I'll be inking them for as long as that's sustainable. So maybe at the very least the first couple of issues. Although I do want to go long term. I would love nothing better. Like I have, it's 8 books total. Um, I would love nothing better than to ink all 8 books, even if that means the books aren't monthly or even quarterly. But if they do well, and I don't have to worry about my finances, if I could just keep it rolling, um, obviously they have to do well to where I could hire a few people to handle the monotonous business stuff. But right now it's just me solo running the shop. So yeah, I think for the time being, I'm gonna end this in a minute. But I want to say I definitely appreciate all of you who showed up. Um, you know, I'm going to be doing these streams daily, and I want to do longer streams. Um, but I'm just getting back into my rhythm. So maybe next week. But you could expect a stream every day. Um, and yeah, hopefully, hopefully, I'll get more and more entertaining as I go. You know, I've done radio, like I mentioned earlier. I've done podcasts. I'm used to talking a lot, just sort of out of my rhythm a little bit because of all that's going on. Um, but you can, if you don't know, I have a Patreon page. You can support me there. Um, I was thinking of, like, I have tons of comic book pages, original art, things I've inked. I was thinking of doing a giveaway to my Patreons. So if you become a Patreon, chime in. Let me know if that's something you'd like. Like I would offer up a page of original artwork, and if anybody wanted it, well, I mean, I would do a drawing if more than one person wanted it. But if you're like outside the states, if you would be willing to pay the shipping, because that kind of gets ridiculous. But anyway, yeah, I have different levels on my Patreon page. If you're not subscribed here, please do. Always give my videos a like. I want to get more and more people aware of that I'm doing this and get more people eyes on it. Trying to grow my channel. I mentioned before, it's like I do have over 500 videos on my channel, but most of them are hid currently, because I wanted to just focus on doing this new series, which will be me working on, one book every day for as long as it takes to finish that book. Because if anything, it's like being an artist really is like, it's just a lot of tedious work. So you have to have real endurance to get through it. It's nothing you could do in a weekend. That's why, it's like I grew up reading comics and marveling at so many great artists. But, for the most part, definitely back when I was growing up, you don't see really just the sheer volume of work that goes into this making comics. So I think that the great thing about today is that, you can really see that day to day. All right, yeah, so wrap this up, spread the video out there, and I have no set time right now. Probably figure that out over the next week or so. Oh, hey, sketch therapy. Welcome. Reprogramming a laptop, cool. And you say, didn't hear any AC and you sound the same. Cool. Yeah, it's pretty loud in my ear. So like I think I'd talk louder just to hear myself while it's on. Let's see. Alchemy of art is easier than alchemy of metallurgy. Better to make gold from paper than lead. That's special anything else is a bonus and means to an end. Feeding a feeling better served through success. So true. That's a lot to take in what you just said. And Ronnie said, got to go, Peter. Keep on rocking. Absolutely. I never heard you pitch your book or your team. I have no idea what they are. You're nice, but I don't know what I don't know. Lay it on me, elevator pitch. You gotta practice before your guests anyway. Yeah. Well, I'm not really getting into the full scope. I'm not pitching anything above and beyond retro until other books are at least first issues are done. I guess in a small way, I was burnt because I did the whole Kickstarter thinking that I had a full team working with me, and the colors dropped the ball. So, I do have a new colorist, but it's not the colorist listed on the Kickstarter page, and you can't change that once it's over. So, what I'm going to do with the other books is just I'm not really promoting them. Other than the fact that I'm letting people become aware of it. But retro is essentially, it's my love letter to comics I loved growing up and throughout the years. So it's like comics. It's a lot of influence from comics from the '60s to the '90s, um, with a little bit of modern sensibility. So it's, through the eyes of me, of course, but but retro, it's like I heard people look at the cover and say, yeah, he looks like Captain America. He looks like, like a character from the '70s or '80s. Um, and the difference will be that, my books will be mature, although, not every issue is going to be heavy mature. Like the first issue is pretty light, although there's some nudity, but not really that much. Because I also grew up on heavy metal magazine, so um, so that's kind of the pitch. It's a little clunky, but what's it about? Well, it's about him. He's a superhero. He's a protector of New York. I'm kind of leaving that open. I do want to do a lot of single issue stories, although there'll be plot elements that will carry on from issue to issue. Um, I don't write like the first issue is the origin issue, so it's hard for me to explain it other than it's just a fun, sometimes serious superhero romp kind of comic book. And if that's your thing, then give me what, not your feelings. Well, he's in New York. Who? Well, he's a superhero. What? His powers are, he's stronger than the average person. He's faster than the average person. Um, that's all I'm willing to say right now. He could steal a father. Like in Marvel and DC comics, they call them superheroes. In my comics, they're called metahumans. So they call Retro the first metahuman. And you'll learn about that. And actually, he'll have a kind of mission over time, seeking out other metahumans and the origins. I need a writer. I don't think so. I just, I haven't written down a thing, an elevator pitch. I explain it better at times, but it's just really, sometimes cheesy comic book superhero kind of stuff. It's everything I loved about comics growing up. Stuff I read in Marvel comics, stuff I read in DC comics, Image comics, Dark Horse comics, blended together in my own unique fashion. His power. Well, I explained his power. He's faster. He's stronger. He's probably got better eyesight. um, and I'll be doing a short story that I'll probably finish after the first issue. That sort of tells the origin of his name. I actually did a GoFundMe that was for that, but I'm probably going to have it available for everybody in one fashion or another. A Chaka makes for a great bounty hunter. Super senses, yep, strength, yeah, you know. He's not I don't see him as super special power wise. Um oh well, the one thing I didn't mention is what he takes advantage of is, now I'm gonna forget it. His style of getting around the city. I mean, specifically, let's see. Oh, I didn't turn this off. Where is it? Okay. I had that on the whole time. Um, let's see. You see him, he's bouncing around buildings. That's, I always forget it. There's a style of running around and jumping through things that I'm forgetting at this point in time. I'm not expressing this right. I've really been pushing my lack of sleep lately, past couple of days. Um, parkour. That's what I'm trying to think of. His style of getting around is parkour. Yep. Pretty much like the specifically issues of Captain America or issues of Daredevil. I always thought, well, even Spider-Man to a certain extent, I always thought that was really fun, and so I sort of made that his definitive style. Yeah, I mean, you think about it, a lot of heroes have done that. Beast um, is another one that comes to mind. Even Hawkeye has to get around before he shoots an arrow at you. But yeah, I think I'm gonna call it a night. I got just enough time to grab dinner, then go to my interview later tonight. I'm doing that on Zoom. I've never worked with Zoom. I downloaded it, but haven't even opened it up. So that's going to be an experience. But yeah, I'll be around again tomorrow, and hopefully, fingers crossed every day thereafter, working on my character and my book Retro. The first issue is 28 pages, so it's I'm just about done with officially 6 pages and the cover and a few pinups, but I got most of the issue to ink. All right, Sketch. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for all the questions. Hope I answered them semi okay. Everyone have a good night. Give me a like, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you again soon. All right, take care, everyone. Bye.